Welcome back to Dan's on Fandoms. I'm Dan. At Star Wars Celebration Chicago in April of last year, it was announced that Lucasfilm Publishing was working on something called Project Luminous. Very little information was provided to folks lucky enough to be in attendance at that time, and not much else has been really shared as far as what Project Luminous entails. However, it was stated that Project Luminous would be a multimedia approach for Lucasfilm and Disney to tell a cohesive story through different publishing outlets including Disney Press, Del Rey, IDW Publishing, and Marvel Comics. Additionally, we know that Project Luminous will launch at some point this year. At New York Comic Con back in October, during the Lucasfilm Publishing panel, which Danny and I actually got to sit in on, we were also given the names of the authors who would be penning various stories for the project, which include Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Claudia Gray, Cavan Scott, and Charles Soule. Here's a crappy photo that I took with my phone while we sat in on that panel. These are all the authors who have previously written stories for Lucasfilm Publishing, either as a novel or as a comic. Justina Ireland has written the young adult novels Lando's Luck and Spark of the Resistance. Daniel Jose Older has written the novel Last Shot, which was a super fun novel. Claudia Gray has written the novels Lost Stars, Bloodline, Leia, Princess Alderaan, as well as Master and Apprentice. Master and Apprentice is a wonderful novel. Cavan Scott has written a variety of publications, including 4 of the novels in the Star Wars Adventures in Wild Space Young Readers series, a comic book miniseries titled Star Wars Adventures Tales from Vader's Castle, and the super awesome full cast audio drama Dooku Jedi Lost, which was really great. And lastly, Charles Soule, who has written a variety of comic book series, including the miniseries revolving around Lando, the Obi-Wan and Anakin comic, the Poe Dameron series, the Darth Vader Dark Lord of the Sith series, and he's currently writing The Rise of Kylo Ren. These 5 authors will be working alongside the Lucasfilm Story Group, a division of Lucasfilm who's responsible for keeping track of Star Wars canon in order to assist writers and directors in the development of new stories. Essentially, Project Luminous will be telling some sort of overarching story with the goal of setting up the next phase of on-screen Star Wars projects, now that the Skywalker saga has come to an end. The project will act as a springboard for fans to begin to delve into the next era of Star Wars stories that Lucasfilm will be exploring. Rumors have been circulating that Lucasfilm is set to move away from the Skywalker saga timeline, which spans the timeline of 32 BBY, or before the Battle of Yavin, which started during the time of the Phantom Menace, and then takes us all the way to 35 ABY, or after the Battle of Yavin, following the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Reports have indicated that Lucasfilm is planning to move centuries into the past in the Star Wars timeline, delving into what's being referred to as the High Republic era. This corresponds with the rumors that the trilogy that was going to be created by the showrunners of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, would take place hundreds of years prior to the events of the Skywalker saga. Couple that with the fact that the High Republic has already been mentioned recently in the aforementioned audiobook Dooku Jedi Lost, as well as the latest issue of the Rise of Kylo Ren comic series, which actually just came out earlier this week. And this seems to be a rumor that holds weight. And while this is just a rumor and speculation at this time, I do think that this is a rumor that has the potential to become reality. Whatever era of the Star Wars timeline that Project Luminous will be exploring, it's safe to assume that this will be the opening stages for Lucasfilm to begin familiarizing fans with the new era that the next phase of Star Wars films and potential TV shows will explore. My hope is that Lucasfilm will be getting far away from the Skywalker saga timeline, that period between 32 BBY and 35 ABY, as I think it will give Lucasfilm more freedom to explore new characters and stories without having to be beholden to certain expectations and or wants that Star Wars fans have when it comes to those legacy characters and the story surrounding them. So the story surrounding Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia. I think the further that Star Wars gets from that timeline in the Star Wars canon, the better. Creating stories that jump back hundreds of years in the past will give Lucasfilm almost a fresh start in terms of Star Wars storytelling. Additionally, this could allow Lucasfilm to dip into the vast well of content that has already been created with the Legends and expanded universe of media that was created prior to the acquisition of Lucasfilm by Disney. Lucasfilm could then bring characters into the fold that are no longer canon, while also introducing entirely new characters, all in a new round of stories, which I think is a total win-win both for Lucasfilm as well as for Star Wars fans. At some point soon, we will find out what Lucasfilm has planned for Project Luminous, but at this time, we just have to wait and temper our excitement. What do you guys think Project Luminous will entail, and what era do you think Project Luminous will delve into once we start to get stories from Project Luminous? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as well as follow Dan's on Fandoms on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Dan's on Fandoms. Thank you for watching, and stay nerdy.